Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw tonight was from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, and this was Monday Night Raw's go-home show for the Royal Rumble, which is this Saturday. And Monday Night Raw tonight, I thought it was a decent show in my opinion. It was a lot better than SmackDown on Friday, which SmackDown was absolutely awful. That's why I didn't cover the show on Friday, because it was just boring. 3 hours of SmackDown is just absolutely fucking boring. I can't wait for them to go back to 2 hours. SmackDown does not need to be 3 hours every single Friday. But tonight on Monday Night Raw, we had the World Tag Team Championship on the line, where the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, defend the titles against Jade and McDonagh and Dominik Mysterio of the Judgment Day. Rey Mysterio was in action, and he had taken on Xavier Woods. We had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They ended up taking on Naomi and Bianca Belair. And the main event, we had Drew McIntyre. He ended up taking on SAMI ZAYN. And we also had Cody Rhodes there, because this was in his hometown of Atlanta. And we had the return of Logan Paul. But overall, Monday Night Raw was a decent show tonight. But as a go-home show, it did nothing to hype us up for the Royal Rumble this Saturday. I won't be covering the Rumble on Saturday because I'll be working. But hopefully it will be a decent show, the Royal Rumble. But anyway, let's jump right into the review. Monday Night Raw opened up tonight with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins came out. He was wearing a floral suit, and he had these pink and black sunglasses, which were so oversized. Of course, everybody's going, whoa. So he got into the ring. He got on the mic, and he welcomed everyone to Monday Night Rollins. And he did his whole shtick, saying, I'm a visionary, I'm a revolutionary. Same shtick. So he ended up mentioning how it is his favorite time of the year, because it is almost WrestleMania season. And that begins on Saturday, when he wins the Royal Rumble. And yes, it's one of my favorite times of the year, because we are on the road to WrestleMania. So Rollins ended up saying that this year got off a real bad start for him. He ended up saying that the debut on Netflix, he lost against CM Punk. And in that moment, he thought to himself, who are you? So he had the fans end up chanting for CM Punk. Rollins ended up saying that he asked himself who he is and who he wants to be. He ended up saying he is Seth frickin' Rollins. And when he knows who he is, there is nobody on this planet that is better than him. Rollins then wanted to say that he decided to start his path to redemption. And it started last week against Drew McIntyre. And his path to redemption will continue at the Royal Rumble. He ended up going to say that he will eliminate John Cena. He'll throw John Cena over the top rope. Jey Uso, he'll throw over the top rope. Drew McIntyre, he'll throw over the top rope. SAMI ZAYN, he'll throw over the top rope. And then he gets to Roman Reigns, and he pauses. And we have the crowd end up chanting OTC. And then Seth finally ended up saying that he will toss Roman Reigns out of the ring at the Royal Rumble. He ended up saying that his hope, his dream, is that CM Punk is the last guy he eliminates, and he can crush Punk's WrestleMania main event dreams to dust. Rollins ended up saying that he is a man on a mission, but what championship will he go after? So Rollins got interrupted by Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion. So Gunther came out, he was wearing a suit, he had the World Heavyweight Championship around his waist. Gunther got into the ring, and Rollins looked at the World Heavyweight Championship. Rollins ended up asking Gunther if he is keeping the title warm for him. So Gunther then got on the mic. He ended up asking Seth where he has been the last few months. Gunther ended up saying that on Saturday, at Saturday night's main event, he was in San Antonio defending the World Heavyweight Championship against the clown, Jey Uso. And I did not watch Saturday night's main event, but I heard it was a decent show, but very predictable. So Gunther ended up telling the fans, because they ended up chanting yeet, he ended up telling the fans not to get too excited because he beat his ass in Jey Uso. So Gunther was like, oh, Seth's over here crying and complaining. He kept saying that Seth has forgotten what really matters in the company. And if he were him, he would cancel out the noise and focus on winning the Rumble, even though he is unsure if Seth still has it in him. So then Rollins ended up telling Gunther that that World Heavyweight Championship would not exist without him. And that the title is not synonymous with Gunther. That's a title he made. So he ended up saying, with all respect to Damian Priest, Finn Balor, or Jey Uso. So Gunther cut Rollins off. He ended up saying that he knows he is Seth Rollins, one of the best wrestlers to ever step foot in the company. He ended up saying that he created so many memorable moments, but it's 2025, and Seth is not the best wrestler in the company anymore. Gunther ended up saying that he is the best, and the World Heavyweight Championship proves it. Gunther then told Seth to please go and win the Rumble, to please challenge him at WrestleMania, because he will have Seth down, and that he will realize the only name synonymous with the title is his name, the Ring General, Gunther. So both Rollins and Gunther were face to face, and out came Logan Paul. Logan Paul came out. He, returns to Monday Night Raw. Logan Paul got into the ring. The fans end up booing the hell out of Logan Paul. Logan Paul had heat here, but it was more of go-away heat than actual heat. So Logan Paul ended up saying that Gunther and Seth think they are special, but the more he speaks, the louder the fans boo. So Logan Paul ended up saying that both Seth and Gunther command attention because they are great at wrestling, but he commands it because he is great at everything. He kept saying that this is the Netflix era, and his company needs a new face, one oozing with charisma and confidence. Logan Paul ended up saying that Seth and Gunther don't have those. And the fans were chanting, "You suck." It was the fans chanting loud to Logan Paul saying, "You suck." And Logan Paul was like, "Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you all." So Logan Paul ended up telling both Rollins and Gunther to take note because that's attention. He ended up saying that they should worry about him, a guy who built a career faster than them both. So Logan Paul ended up saying that he will enter the Royal Rumble, and he won't worry about throwing 29 other guys, and that's grunt work. So yeah, Logan Paul is entering the Royal Rumble. Great. Fucking great. He ended up saying that he has to work smarter and not harder. He ended up saying that he just has to be the last one in the Rumble, And when he wins it, he is going to main event WrestleMania, and he can choose Cody Rhodes or Gunther. So this is solidifying that Logan Paul might be the number 30 in the Royal Rumble. By him just saying, oh, I just have to be the last one in the Rumble. So Gunther ended up telling Seth that he wants Logan Paul to win the Royal Rumble. That way he can go to WrestleMania and embarrass him. So Seth ended up laughing. He ended up saying that the only person that is going to get embarrassed is Gunther if he decides to take back his World Heavyweight Championship. So Seth then dropped the mic and he ended up leaving the ring, and that was how the segment ended. But this segment achieved nothing, in my opinion. This was just Seth Rollins, oh, if I win the Royal Rumble, I want to face you, Gunther. I want to take back my World Heavyweight Championship. And Logan Paul comes out there, and he gets loudly booed by the crowd, which I don't blame the crowd. No one wants to see Logan Paul. The guy is a crypto scammer. You all know what Logan Paul, did about that. Him being a crypto scammer. So, but this segment achieved nothing. And then we went backstage, and we saw CM Punk. Punk was with Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly, was interviewing him, and Punk ended up telling Kathy Kelly that he thinks Logan Paul will fare like everyone else in the Rumble, not named him. Punk ended up telling Kathy Kelly if she was in the Rumble, he would eliminate her. So then in came SAMI ZAYN. SAMI ZAYN ended up telling Punk that he heard what he said about him last week, when he said that he wasn't at his level. And it is kind of true, because one of them main evented WrestleMania and the other hasn't. So SAMI ZAYN ended up walking away from Punk, and he was then stopped by Karrion Kross. Kross ended up telling SAMI ZAYN that accidentally hitting Jay must have felt good. SAMI ZAYN ended up telling Kross that he knows what he is doing. And Kross ended up telling Sammy to listen to Kevin Owens. Kross ended up saying that it could be them at WrestleMania, and not to think with his heart, to think with his head. So Kross was telling SAMI ZAYN that. So Kross then walked off, and in came Cody Rhodes. SAMI ZAYN ended up telling Cody, oh, it's good to see you. And then he walked off, and that was basically that. So Karrion Kross ended up giving advice to SAMI ZAYN. Karrion Kross giving advice. He's a jobber giving advice. So that was that. Then we had the first match of the night. The War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, versus Dominik Mysterio and JD McDonagh. This was for the World Tag Team Championship, and this was a good match here. So the match got on the way. We had Dominik and McDonagh end up throwing Ivar to the outside, and Dominik and McDonagh double teamed up on Eric. Dominik delivered a suicide dive onto Ivar. McDonagh delivered a springboard moonsault off the middle rope, and this was a crazy spot here. After McDonagh hit the springboard moonsault off the middle rope, he landed onto Ivar, but McDonagh legitimately hit the back of his neck onto the edge of the commentary table. He ended up hitting that hard. I mean, on the replay, you see how hard his neck ended up hitting onto the edge of the commentary table. And Michael Cole on commentary, he ended up asking for somebody to check on McDonagh, but McDonagh continued the match. He got right back up. And I was like, holy shit. He got back up when he ended up hitting the back of his neck hard onto that edge of the commentary table. So we had Dominik end up being up on Eric. McDonagh got on the ring apron, but he was shown holding his ribs. Dominik then tagged McDonagh in, and we had Dominik and McDonagh end up hitting exchange chops to Eric. Dominik ended up tagging himself back in. McDonagh then tagged himself back in. Ivar was then tagged in. Ivar delivered a back body drop onto McDonagh, and then Ivar laid out Dominik with a crossbody. McDonagh then rolled to the outside. Dominik then also rolled to the outside. Eric then threw Dominik onto McDonagh, and Ivar delivered a cannonball off the barricade onto both Dominik and McDonagh. So then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Eric was in control of the match. He ended up throwing Dominik across the ring. McDonagh came in, and Eric ended up kicking McDonagh in the back of his neck, focusing on that spot where he ended up hitting his neck, on the edge of the commentary table. So Eric delivered a kick onto Dominik. He ended up going for the cover on Dominik, but McDonagh broke up the pin. Eric then threw McDonagh to the outside. Ivar was then tagged in. Ivar then lifted Dominik up, but Dominik ended up laying on his feet, and McDonagh was then tagged in. Ivar then tagged in. Ivar ended up going for a clothesline onto McDonagh, but McDonagh ended up ducking it. McDonagh then headbutted Eric, and Ivar then delivered a kick to McDonagh's face. Ivar climbed up the second rope, but McDonagh delivered a kick to Ivar, and he ended up dragging Ivar off the second rope and slammed him down to the canvas. He ended up going for the cover, and Ivar kicked out. Dominik then tagged in. Ivar delivered a spinning heel kick, and both Ivar and Dominik were down. McDonagh then distracted the ref, and we saw Carlito. Carlito ended up dropping Eric off of the ring apron, and he spit an apple onto Ivar's face. Chunks of apple went into Ivar's face. Dominik then ended up delivering the 619 onto Ivar. McDonagh then tagged in. McDonagh climbed to the top rope and landed a moonsault onto Ivar. Dominik was then tagged in. Dominik ended up going for the frog splash. He ended up going for the cover, and Eric ended up pushing McDonagh onto Dominik, and the cover was broken. So McDonagh was then thrown to the outside. Ivar knocked Carlito off the ring apron. Dominik then tripped Ivar up. Eric then tagged himself in. Dominik ended up going for the 619, but the War Raiders end up catching Dominik. The War Raiders end up delivering the War Machine to Dominik. Eric ended up going for the cover, and there you go. The War Raiders end up winning the match, retaining the World Tag Team Championship. Overall, very good match this was. That spot with McDonagh hitting his neck, on the edge of the commentary table was just crazy. He had to be out, for that, but he got right back up. So that was crazy how after that spot, McDonagh continued the match. But very good match it was. And then we saw Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne was shown walking backstage, and he got stopped by Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser ended up telling Pete Dunne that things didn't go his way last week, and someone should show that guy last week how things are done. So in came the New Day. In came Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. And they ended up trying to befriend Pete Dunne and Ludwig Kaiser. But both Dunne and Kaiser end up walking away. Kathy Kelly ended up coming over to Xavier Woods and Kofi. Kofi then ended up putting his arm on Xavier Woods. He ended up telling Kathy Kelly that Atlanta's favorite son is in town. And Kathy Kelly looked all confused about that. And she ended up asking the New Day if it's Braun Breaker. The New Day ended up telling her no. She asked if it's Austin Theory. They said no. She then asked if it was Cody Rhodes. They said no. and that is Xavier Woods. Kofi ended up asking Woods if his family is in attendance yet. Woods ended up telling Kofi, not yet, but they better be soon, because he paid a lot for the tickets. So that was basically that. Xavier Woods' family was shown sitting at ringside, during the next match, which was Rey Mysterio versus Xavier Woods. Rey Mysterio was accompanied by, the LWO, by Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, and Zelina Vega, to which this is Zelina Vega's last night on Monday Night Raw, because Michael Cole ended up announcing that Zelina Vega is moving to SmackDown because of the transfer window. So Zelina Vega will officially be a SmackDown superstar. But this was a decent match here. So the match got underway. Rey delivered a springboard crossbody to Xavier, which was followed up by a headlock, but Woods ended up throwing Rey to the ropes, and he ended up delivering a shoulder tackle, which took Rey down. Woods then delivered a chop to Rey's chest, and then he followed that up with an uppercut. Xavier Woods ended up throwing Rey into the ropes, but Rey delivered a hurricanrana, and he ended up getting on the ring apron. Rey then delivered a sunset flip, but Woods grabbed Rey by his legs, and he kicked Rey. Woods then placed Rey laying on the second rope, and Woods ended up jumping onto the back of Rey's neck. So then Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Woods was in control of the match. He delivered a vertical suplex to Rey. He ended up going for the cover, and Rey ended up kicking out. Xavier Woods ran towards Rey, but Rey delivered a big boot, which was followed by a kick to the side of Woods' head. Rey then climbed the top rope, and he delivered a seated senton onto Woods. Rey then got Woods in the corner. Rey got on the second rope. He ended up hitting Woods with punches, but Woods ended up tripping Rey up. He then placed Rey on the second rope. Woods then ended up going for a suplex, but Rey delivered a right hand to Woods. We had Rey deliver a sunset flip powerbomb to Woods. He ended up going for the cover, but Woods ended up kicking out, and he rolled to the outside of the ring. So we saw Xavier Woods. He looked at ringside, and his family was in attendance in the first row. Woods then ended up asking his family where they have been, and his family is all wearing New Day Sucks t-shirts. So we had Woods' sister end up throwing a shirt in his face. Xavier Woods was angry. He got back into the ring, and that distraction from Xavier Woods' family to him, that led to Rey tripping Woods onto the second rope. Rey hit the 619. He ended up going for a splash. He went for the cover, and there you go. Rey Mysterio ended up winning the match. Post-match, we had the LWO, and Rey ended up going to ringside, and they celebrated with Xavier Woods' family. Rey ended up wearing a New Day Sucks t-shirt, and we had them celebrating. So, pretty much, that was basically that. They did the same thing with Kofi's family, when Kofi's family was sitting in attendance on the Monday Night Raw before Christmas Eve. So now they did it here with Xavier Woods' family. So everyone is turning on Kofi and Xavier Woods after, they kicked Big E out of the New Day. But hopefully Big E, we see him at the Rumble. Hopefully he's medically cleared to go. And we end up seeing him eliminate both Kofi and Xavier Woods from the Royal Rumble. So we'll have to wait and see. So then we saw Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. Sami Zayn ended up telling Seth that what happened was an accident last week. And Seth looked a little unsure about that. Seth ended up telling Sami Zayn that he knows him, and that was a mistake. But Sami Zayn has to understand why he feels like it might not have been a mistake. And Rollins was like, what's this thing that you have with Roman Reigns? Does not rest easy with people, including himself. Rollins ended up telling Sami that was a mistake. But if something like that happens again, he can be sure it is a mistake. So Seth ended up telling Sami that they're good. And he ended up walking away. And pretty much that was basically that. And then we had Jey Uso. We had Mr. Yeet. Everybody in the crowd doing the Jey Uso. His entrance took 5 to 10 minutes to do. Because, we have Seth Rollins. We have Roman Reigns. And we now have Jey Uso. Who have long, entrances where the crowd's just so into it. So Jey Uso came out. He came through the crowd with rapper Quavo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But we had a lot of rappers in attendance tonight. We had Quavo. We had Lil Yachty. And I forgot the others that were there. So Jey Uso stood on the commentary table after 10 minutes of his entrance and people, doing yeet, raising their arms up and down. He stood on the commentary table. He ended up telling everyone that he lost on Saturday, but he knows he can beat Gunther. And he was in a good mood tonight after he lost on Saturday. Jey ended up saying that Seth and Gunther have his name in their mouths. And now he knows what he has to do. Jey ended up saying that he will win the Royal Rumble. And he will go on to main event WrestleMania and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. So pretty much that was basically that. That was what Jey Uso had to say. Very short. And, down to the point. He wants to win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania, so he could defeat Gunther to win the World Heavyweight Championship. And then we saw Jackie Redmond. Jackie Redmond was backstage with Lyra Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Lyra ended up telling Jackie Redmond that she will take the next big fight that is in front of her, and that is the Royal Rumble. So in came American-made Chad Gable, the Creed Brothers, and Ivy Nile. Chad Gable ended up telling Lyra that Ivy will take her Intercontinental Championship from her. And pretty much that was basically that. So we had the Alpha Academy there, and they were stretching backstage. Chad Gable ended up telling them that they should be embarrassed for what they have become. So, there you go. But it looks like it's going to be Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile is going to be the first opponent for Lyra Valkyria's Women's Intercontinental Championship. I see that happening. And then we have Bianca Belair and Naomi. They end up taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. This match was boring, in my opinion. Match got underway. Bianca ended up going for the KOD right away onto Liv, but Liv ended up laying on her feet, and Bianca ended up spearing Liv into the corner. Bianca ended up going for a slam to Liv, but Liv ended up laying on her feet. Liv then grabbed Bianca by her braid and slammed Bianca onto the canvas. Liv then tagged Raquel in, and Raquel and Bianca were both face-to-face. Bianca delivered a back elbow onto Raquel, and she had tagged in Naomi. So Bianca and Naomi ended up double teaming up on Raquel, and that landed to a Russian leg sweep, which was followed by a double elbow to Raquel. Naomi ended up going for the cover, but Raquel ended up kicking out. We had Raquel end up tagging Liv in, but Naomi ended up delivering a drop kick, and Bianca was then tagged in. Bianca and Naomi ended up double teaming up on Liv. Bianca ended up going for the cover, and Liv ended up kicking out. Naomi was then tagged back in, and we had Naomi and Bianca. They end up going to double suplex Liv, but in came Raquel Rodriguez, and all four women were fighting at it. So this led to Bianca and Naomi taking out both Liv and Raquel. So then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had Raquel end up throwing Naomi into the ring post on the outside. Raquel got back into the ring. She grabbed Naomi, but Naomi ended up delivering a kick to Raquel's head, and she ended up slamming Raquel head first into the ring apron. We had later on Dominik Mysterio ended up coming out. Dominik Mysterio was on the ring apron distracting the ref because we had Liv end up going for the Oblivion, but Bianca ended up intercepting her, and she had pinned Liv with the KOD. So Dominik distracted the ref. So Bianca then tagged Naomi in. Bianca then jumped onto Dominik on the outside. Naomi then delivered the split-legged moonsault onto Liv. Naomi ended up going for the cover, but Raquel ended up dragging Naomi to the outside. She then slammed Naomi into the ring apron. We had Raquel end up throwing Naomi back into the ring. Liv ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez ended up winning the match. Overall, boring match this was. And then we saw Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was backstage with the Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley ended up telling Kathy Kelly that her body is banged up, but just like she did in Australia, she reminded Nia Jax why she is always on top. And wasn't surprised there from the results of Saturday night's main event with Rhea Ripley retaining the title. Obviously she was. So Kathy Kelly ended up asking Rhea about the Royal Rumble match. Rhea ended up telling Kathy Kelly that it doesn't matter who wins, because if they decide to face her, they will get brutalized at WrestleMania. So in came Bayley. Bayley ended up telling Rhea that she might see her at WrestleMania. Rhea ended up telling her, good luck. So Bayley then turned around, and she saw Io Sky there. Of course, Bayley, once a part of Damage Control with Io and Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane. She ended up telling Bayley, see you Saturday. And that was basically that. And then we had a video promo of Penta. Penta ended up saying that he will be in the Royal Rumble match. So good. Penta's going to be in his first ever Royal Rumble match. And, he's going to do very well in it, hopefully. I'd like to see what spot that they gave Penta for this year's Rumble. And then we saw Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman walked down to the ring. He got a big pop from the crowd. Paul Heyman ended up introducing himself. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. He ended up saying that he is the one behind the one. The one greatest of all time. The one and only Tribal Chief. And the one who represents WWE and the entire island of relevancy on the cover of WWE 2K25. So now we saw, the display of the cover for Roman Reigns on WWE 2K25. Giant cover it was. So, really like how the cover looks with Roman Reigns there in the ring. You see Paul Heyman in the center on the outside of the ring. So, the cover with Roman Reigns on it, looks good. And I see what the, the other edition is going to be. And it has, Roman Reigns and the entire bloodline on it. Which, looks cool. See if I can show here if they posted it. Yes, for the Bloodline edition. Yeah, look at this. What a cool cover that is for the Bloodline edition of 2K25. Pretty awesome. Hopefully, I might want to get that edition maybe. But pretty cool. Roman Reigns is officially on the cover of WWE 2K25. And Paul Heyman ended up saying that he is the one behind the one in the 29 versus 1. Before I get into what else Paul Heyman said, this is what the cover is for 2K25 here. So that's what they showed. That was on the giant banner. Pretty nice, pretty cool cover. So he ended up saying that Roman is going back to the mindset of one versus all, because that is what this Royal Rumble is all about. Paul Heyman ended up saying that Roman Reigns told everyone that he was going to take back the Ula Fala. And he took back the Ula Fala from Sol Sikoa. Paul Heyman ended up saying that now Roman Reigns is coming back for his championship. And it all starts this Saturday at the Royal Rumble, because all 29 of them are coming after Roman. Because Roman is not just the biggest star on Netflix, not just the biggest star in the company, he is the biggest star in the industry. On the face of the planet, with Elon Musk colonizes Mars, Roman will be the biggest star on that planet too. Paul Heyman ended up saying that there are two types of men qualified for the Rumble. One is the one Roman Reigns, and the other is just someone else in that locker room. And they all want to be Roman Reigns. He ended up saying they'll get on their hands and knees at night and say, "Please, dear God, I want to be Roman Reigns." The way how Paul Heyman did it was hilarious. So Paul Heyman was then interrupted by Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre ended up getting into the ring. He stared at the giant 2K25 poster. McIntyre ended up telling Paul Heyman that he looks kind of nervous. McIntyre then put his hand on Paul Heyman's shoulder. And he told Paul Heyman, the only person that should be nervous is SAMI ZAYN. McIntyre ended up telling Paul Heyman that Heyman doesn't like him very much, but just to listen to it. McIntyre ended up telling Heyman that he should love him because he is responsible for all of this success. Paul Heyman looked confused at what Drew McIntyre was saying there. So McIntyre ended up telling Paul Heyman that it pains him, but he is the daddy of the bloodline. McIntyre ended up saying that he hates it, but he won the 2020 Royal Rumble, and he eliminated Roman Reigns, and he went to main event WrestleMania. He ended up being Paul Heyman's client, Brock Lesnar. He ended up saying Paul Heyman went out to sea, and he aligned himself back with Roman Reigns. He got in his ear, and they went on the greatest run of Paul Heyman's life. McIntyre ended up saying that they took over, and they made more money. He then told Paul Heyman that all he is looking for is a very simple thank you. Thank you, Drew. And Paul Heyman ended up looking unsure of himself. So Paul Heyman ended up thanking McIntyre. He ended up telling him he is crowding him right now. McIntyre then apologized, and he backed away. McIntyre ended up telling Paul Heyman that since he did him a favor, he wonders if Paul Heyman can do him a favor. McIntyre then ended up telling Paul Heyman to tell his boy that this Saturday he will target him and beat him within an inch of his life and throw him over the top rope. So Paul Heyman ended up giving McIntyre his word. He ended up saying that he will pass his message on to the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So McIntyre then stopped Paul Heyman. McIntyre ended up saying that he wasn't talking about Roman. and that he was talking about his boy, CM Punk. So McIntyre then ended up telling Paul Heyman to run. So then Paul Heyman ended up leaving the ring, and that was how the segment ended. But overall, good segment this was. Paul Heyman coming out there and introducing Roman Reigns, who's going to be on the 2K25 cover. And Drew McIntyre ended up telling Paul Heyman that, he's going to throw CM Punk over the top rope. Good segment it was. Main event, Drew McIntyre versus SAMI ZAYN. And we've seen these two go at it before, but still, this was a good match here. Match got underway. McIntyre delivered a chop to Sami Zayn's chest. He ended up throwing Sami into the ropes, but Sami Zayn ended up delivering a kick to McIntyre's face. McIntyre ended up running towards Sami, but Sami ended up throwing McIntyre over the top rope to the outside. Sami Zayn delivered a Sin moonsault off the top rope onto McIntyre on the outside, which looked great. Sami then threw McIntyre back to the ring. McIntyre came back and delivered a kick to Sami's face. He ended up going for the cover, but Sami ended up kicking out. McIntyre then delivered a chop to Sami's chest, but Sami came back with an elbow to McIntyre's face. Sami then climbed the second rope, and he delivered an elbow to McIntyre's face. He ended up running to the ropes, and he landed a clothesline onto McIntyre. Sami, once again, went to the ropes, and he landed a tornado DDT to McIntyre. He went for the cover, and McIntyre ended up kicking out. Sami Zayn, at this point, was shown bleeding from his nose. So he then ended up grabbing McIntyre by his arm. He jumped onto the top rope, but McIntyre tripped Sami up, and Sami then fell to the outside. McIntyre ended up going for the Claymore, but Sami ended up ducking, and McIntyre landed on the commentary table hard. So both guys were down as Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, McIntyre delivered a spine buster, but Sami Zayn ended up kicking out. McIntyre then lifted Sami Zayn up, and he landed a sit-down powerbomb. He went for the cover, and Sami kicked out. McIntyre then got Sami on the top rope, and he climbed the second rope, but Sami delivered a sunset flip powerbomb. He ended up going for the cover, and McIntyre ended up kicking out. So, at the end of the match, we had Sami Zayn deliver the explosion to the corner on McIntyre. He ended up going for the haluva kick to McIntyre, but McIntyre moved out of the way. McIntyre ended up going for the cover, and McIntyre got the win because he put his legs onto the ropes for leverage, and the ref didn't see it, so McIntyre won the match. Post-match, we had Sami Zayn. He was shown arguing with the ref, saying that, McIntyre put his foot on the ropes, but McIntyre ended up hitting Sami Zayn from behind. Cody Rhodes ended up coming out. The hometown guy finally came out. And McIntyre ended up going for a right hand onto Cody. Cody ducked the right hand from McIntyre, and he delivered the Cody cutter onto McIntyre. McIntyre was thrown to the outside, and Kevin Owens came into the ring from behind. So we had both Cody and Owens were fighting. McIntyre ended up hitting Cody from behind. Sami Zayn ended up coming in. He ended up going for the haluva kick onto McIntyre, but McIntyre moved out of the way, and Sami Zayn delivered the haluva kick to Cody in the corner. So Sami was shocked that he ended up hitting Cody with the haluva kick. McIntyre loved that. He was shown laughing, and he left the ring while Kevin Owens was shown smiling, and Owens ended up leaving. Sami Zayn then stood in the ring, and pretty much that was basically that. Overall, very good match it was from Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn here. Even though we've seen these two go at it before, it was still a good match here. And, this was, at this point, I was like, is the show over yet? And then it went to commercial. And then it came back from commercial, and Cody Rhodes was in the ring, and Cody was looking at the two titles hanging in the air. He was looking at the undisputed WWE Championship and the Winged Eagle belt that Kevin Owens took from Cody on the first Saturday Night's Main Event from last month. Cody ended up saying that it's not about the belt itself, the one that Kevin Owens is convinced will make him a champion. He ended up saying that it is the mindset and work that makes you champion. Cody ended up saying that he shows up first and leaves last. He ended up saying that he is looking forward to the Royal Rumble when he can move past Kevin Owens. So this brought out CM Punk. CM Punk ended up coming out. He got into the ring, and he was face to face with Cody. Punk got on the mic. He ended up telling Cody, it feels like all of this is starting to get to Cody, and he knows what that belt means. He ended up saying he knows what that title can do to a man, and that he was champion for 444 days. He ended up saying somewhere in the 300-day mark, it started to burn him out. He ended up saying that he lost friends because of that, and he sees Cody losing friends. Punk ended up saying that he gets it, that Cody wants to be Bruno Sammartino, and he wants to be John Cena, but no one is Superman. So Cody then ended up saying that he doesn't have a lot of friends. So he ended up asking CM Punk, are you still my friend? Are you my friend? So Punk ended up saying he is. He is Cody's friend. And that is why he is out here, to be his friend. Punk ended up saying that he promises to always be his friend, in part because of the promise he made to his father, and in part because he loves him. He ended up saying that a part of him feels like he let Cody down, but the truth is, not even his father could have prepared him for this. Cody then ended up telling Punk what is next for himself. Punk then ended up telling Cody, what is next for you is that he is in his hometown. He ended up saying that Cody could sleep in his own bed tonight, but he bets that Cody won't sleep at all. Punk ended up saying chances are Cody has an early call time to do promotion for his match against Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. Punk was like, maybe. He doesn't have an early call time, but he will be thinking about the biggest match in his career. Punk then ended up telling Cody, and after that, if he makes it past Kevin Owens, there is the next show. There is Monday Night Raw, and there is SmackDown. He ended up saying that Cody is the poster boy, no matter what. Cody sacrifices. He ended up saying last time at home with his daughter and his wife because the belt means something to the both of them. Punk ended up saying that while Cody does all of that, someone will be getting into the best shape of their life because they will want to take the belt away from Cody. And that is the good news. So Cody was like, that's the good news? Tell me the bad news then. So Punk then ended up telling Cody the bad news is that somebody is him. Punk ended up saying, unlike everyone else stabbing him in the back, he will win the Royal Rumble, and he will see Cody in the main event at WrestleMania. Punk ended up saying because is his one true friend, he will stab him in the front. Cody then ended up telling Punk he respects him for telling him that. But when he first showed up in OVW, he met Punk. He ended up saying everyone wanted to be Punk. And after that, Punk got called up and he was champion. Cody ended up saying that he was chasing Punk. And after that, there was a 10-year period. He ended up saying that Punk was at home and they were still chasing him. But that all shifted. Cody ended up saying that their relationship has changed because he is not chasing Punk. It's Punk that is chasing him. So Cody then ended up telling Punk that he hopes he wins the Rumble because he wants Punk to catch up. Cody then turned around to leave. Punk then grabbed Cody by his arm. And Punk ended up telling him, I'm not done. Punk then told Cody that a lot of men wanted him to catch up to them. But there is a graveyard of careers of men who wanted him to catch up, and he did. So Punk was about to leave. Cody then ended up stopping Punk, and Cody also told Punk that he is not done. Cody then ended up telling Punk that he wants him to win because he wants the best in the world to know he is not the best in the world anymore. So Cody's music ended up hitting, and both Cody and Punk were shown face to face, and that was how Monday Night Raw went off the air. Overall, this is setting up for Cody versus Punk at WrestleMania. This segment told you all that we're possibly going to be getting Cody versus Punk at WrestleMania, which, take my money, that should be one hell of a match at WrestleMania between the both of them. So I'm very much looking forward to it. And this segment was, pretty good. Really enjoyed it. But overall, Monday Night Raw, decent show it was tonight. But anyway, that's it for my review of tonight's Monday Night Raw. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Be sure to catch me Wednesday. Me and Noah are going to do episode 3 of The Bell Call. So I'll be going live on Wednesday for that. And the next video will be a movie review of Companion, which I'm seeing Companion tomorrow night. Very much looking forward to the film. And, maybe after the Bell Call podcast, we'll review AEW Dynamite. We'll see. So, until then, I'll see you all later.